How was it like to have 18 back on the field today?
Oh, it was good. Felt his energy out there. Good to see him out there running, and went through something very traumatic, and to have him back out on the field was really good, and excited to see how this week unfolds for him.
So when he's ready to go, the emergence of Michael Wilson, how do you see that developing? How do you see that being incorporated into the offense?
Yeah, I think it's like when we install the plan and you kind of figure out who's up and where we're putting the guys and stuff like that. I think that kind of like answers a lot of those questions. Obviously today is first and second down stuff. So, finding ways to use both of them and Trey, and Dortch, and all those guys are very deserving of the ball. So, Drew has his work cut out for him this week, and so I'm excited to see how. I'm excited to see how it unfolds. But I'm looking forward to all those guys making a lot of plays.
What Michael's done the last 2 weeks has rarely been done in the NFL forever. From your perspective, what do you think about it? How impressive is it what he's been able to do?
Oh, it's special. I know it's easy to come up here, as somebody that comes to work with him and says, like, it's no surprise because of the work he did, but I think that's doing him a disservice because of the work he's done, and how, mentally strong he is, and as a player in this league, you always look for those times where your opportunity comes. You want to make sure you make the most of it, and I think he did that, to a T, just nothing but obviously the utmost respect for him, but definitely impressed with what he's done.
When you have 3 pass catchers, when Marv returns, have proven themselves at that level, proving their capabilities, what does that do for you as a quarterback, having that kind of depth of options?
Yeah, it definitely opens it up. And I don't want to say that because of the guys that were in last week, because they, it was like that for the last 2 weeks, and we've held our own. So it's just added more depth, if anything.
The national broadcast mentioned how much you'd spoken with Michael kind of leading up the last 2 games to kind of get on the same page. How much time is spent just the 2 of you talking about how you see things on the field and you trying to...
Oh, man. I'm more of like an over-communicator, so I talk to everybody probably a little bit too much, so... a lot of time, I remember one night it was like pitch black dark in his room. I was on FaceTime with him. I'm like, hey, real fast, I need you to look at this. And, and to his credit, he just snaps and he's, all right, hold on, let me grab my iPad right here. So things like that, but a lot of time.
Is it similar with Marv and Trey and all your guys? Like how much
Yeah.
do you want FaceTime?
It's either FaceTime or I'll send him a text or send him like a clip of a play or something like that. Or like after practice and stuff like that, I'll sit and talk to him for 5 or 10 minutes and like throughout the locker room and kind of just like, overemphasize what probably, Petsy and Drew Terrell and kind of go up there and say about what we're trying to accomplish on the play, and just so that, I know it's like, I know when JG comes up here and does his conferences, he always talks about no and something like that. So it's trying to, emphasize that to the guys and make sure that we're on the same page.
Michael's not the only one that's talked about like meeting with you, about things. Like, is that something you start doing? Like, when you're named the guy, like, is that the only way you know how to do things? And communicate like that and just try to do more?
Yeah, I think I was doing it when I wasn't playing too. Trying to be a voice for Kyler when he was out there, and obviously with things that I've seen and guys, in all parts of my career have. Some reason felt the need to come up to me and ask questions, so I kind of have to make sure I got an answer for them. And I remember like guys used to come up to Philip a lot and ask a lot of questions, obviously with his track record and from playing a long time in this league. And I just was always like impressed by how fast he was able to like, oh, I did this in 6 years ago and look up this clip right here. Like I was always like intrigued by how he was able to like regurgitate plays and things like that. So it's definitely something that I kind of like picked up on.
Do you have a limit on how late you'll text guys, or is this like whenever something pops in your head, you'll text?
No, I don't really have it. They'll see it in the morning, so.
Not to jump too forward ahead here, but is there a coaching future for you down the line?
It's too far ahead right now.
Michael's confidence, guys talk about Trey's confidence right between the white lines. Have you seen it grow with Michael? And can you sense that in the huddle on the field when a guy's like ultra confident?
Oh my gosh, yeah, for sure. To be surprised, it's like I feel his more than Trey's a little bit sometimes, more so because Trey's, you don't know what he's gonna say. But Mike, even he called the in cut last week, and it was his first catch, big catch, getting pulled, and he just makes a strong hands catch over the middle, and he like came back and like I'm like giving him 5, and when he's coming to the huddle, he hit my hand so damn hard, and I'm like, listen, like don't do don't do that, but like you just feel it coming off of him, like as far as like his energy and stuff like that, and yeah, like so you definitely and you see it growing over the game because he's in the huddle and he's coming to me on the sideline, kind of like bro, keep trusting me, and stuff like that, like so yeah.
When you're looking at a opposing defense and studying of what they're going to do, obviously you're paying attention to what they're doing on the film and everything. Are you aware of whatever successes or lack of success that defense has had? And just going back in time, like for instance, when you play the 49ers, they have statistically not had one of the better pass rushes. Or whatever team, maybe a team has a great pass rush. Like when you're breaking down that defense and studying that, does that play a part, or is it simply what you're seeing on film?
A lot of it is just what you see on film because numbers don't really tell all the story for a lot of things, and you got to really like lock in and see. Honestly, the thing that I try to pay attention to most is kind of like what is the other team thought of that week going into them and like what they try to accomplish, and obviously like you're around this league for a while, so a lot of the coordinators kind of are not, I want to say recycle because that sounds bad, but they've had like history in this league, so you try to find out how guys have tried to exploit that defense, and case in point, Todd's been. I played against Todd. This is gonna be my 4th time playing against Todd, and probably like 6th time like on another team. So, seeing teams and seeing other teams kind of like that I've been on, try to like, I won't say expose, but kind of like exploit certain things in the defense. Whereas then you got to look at the film and say, hey, like these are different players. This is a different time in the year. So all that stuff kind of like plays a part. But I think you got to watch the film and kind of form your own opinion to a certain extent.
When you've thrown 150 passes over your last 3 games, which is basically unprecedented in NFL, it's the 3rd most in NFL history. Do you have to do anything different, like in terms of your prep, like arm recovery? Like, are you like a baseball pitcher doing like different arm recovery?
No, man, I'm too young for that.
Same as always?
Yeah, same as always, yeah.
Jacoby, the extra thankfulness around this time of the year, we're throwing out this in NFL history and what you've been able to do here to get an opportunity. Just how do you feel this time of the year?
Man, I think thankful is an understatement. Me and Drew was just talking about that on the field today. It was just like, I remember we were in Cleveland. He kind of brought it to my attention. He was like, man, what is your like dream job? You know what I mean? And like, it all kind of like revolves around like being here. You know what I'm saying? Like as far as like certain things. And it was just like, if you'd have told me 3 years ago, what was that? 3 years ago I was in Cleveland? 3-4 years ago I was in Cleveland? That I'll be starting still in the NFL? You know what I mean? I would be like hell no. You know what I mean? And I'm thankful that I have this opportunity. And then I think it's just more so thankful to be around the guys. You know what I mean? It's year 10 for me, and I've been to 7 different teams. So, I mean, the journeyman kind of, at some point people think the door closes, but I'm still in there. So I'm very thankful for that.
Two-part question to that. Why did you not think you might be not?
It's just how the league just is. Not that I didn't have the confidence in myself, but it's just more so like you never know when. For certain guys, you never know when the opportunity is gonna come. You know what I mean? And it's just more so just being ready for the opportunity. And 3 years ago, I was in Cleveland. I had just Deshaun had just came back off of his thing, and I'm like, damn, what's next? You know what I mean? I can't tell you what's next. You know what I mean? So, and I knew I'd be on year 10. You know what I mean? I wouldn't think that would be possible.
When he asked you what your dream job was, what do you remember telling him?
No, I'll keep that between me.
Along those lines, we didn't really, after the game wasn't really a great time to ask, but like your thoughts on having your jersey in Canton after setting that record and just having a piece of something that you did in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, man. I think I still stand by. I wish we would have won over anything. But my nephew saw it and he wants to break the record, so I think that's pretty cool. So
Quarterback?
he's like 3. Yeah.
So you mentioned Bowles. When they have a top 5 blitz rate, what does that mean for you as the opposing quarterback?
Gotta get your eyes up. Obviously this week is he does such a good job. You know, I mean, I trust such a tremendous respect for him. It's just like he does such a good job year in and year out of changing looks that look like similar looks from previous time that you've played against him, you know, and he makes sure everybody can do everything. You know, they'll have linebackers playing curl flat defenders and flat defenders in cover 2 and things like that. And they're blitzing the safety and the nickel from the other side. So it's just things like that to where he keeps you on your toes. You know, it's being very, I think, how do I say it? It's clear. I'll just get an easier word. Clear with my communication as far as like what protection calls we're in, and just make sure the guys are on the same page and kind of like having answers off of that, rather than trying to be like, oh, is it this guy coming or this guy coming or and things like that, because you're going to be up all night trying to figure out who that is, and I think that's what he wants. And, you know, so it's just a matter of just communication.
I mean, you've been adamant about you would trade everything for the wins, but how do you feel about how well this offense has been playing, even though you're not winning?
Yeah, man, I think that's the most frustrating part of it, man. It's like trying to figure out how to win, you know. And that's the most frustrating part, but it's also the most fun part of it, you know. And you that's what I know gets me up to come to work every morning. And you know, I mean, I like after Monday after a game, and you like, damn, it's we just lost again. It's just like, man, well, we're about to go win the next one, you know. And it's like, because it's not far-fetched, because we aren't playing bad, you know. It's just a matter of the one or two things in those critical situations to get you over the hump, and you know, and I definitely see it, you know, unfolding for us. Just a matter of when.
You hit the whole turkey dinner buffet training table. Like, are you go all in tomorrow for?
No, I don't. I barely eat during the week, anyways. Whether it's Thanksgiving or not, my nerves are too going too much.
Barely eat.
I mean, I don't eat enough to where I need to be at a buffet. So, but, yeah.